Hey guys, we're back with Destro. And let me just say, Destro, the artwork on here is from the original action figure, G.I. Joe, back in the 80s. Something I watched as a kid. 1/10 scale, art scale, Iron Studios, Hasbro. There's a picture of the statue, but the cool thing is, the bottom there, says, I don't know if you remember the boxes that these came in as a kid. On the back, they'd have a little profile of the character, and then they'd show other figures that were going to be coming out or were out at the time. There were lots of action figure series that did that to promote their easy way to promote the kids. And we got Storm Shadow, which I already have. We have Cobra Commander on his throne, which is pre-ordered. So as soon as that comes in, we'll be doing a video on that one. Like I said, Storm Shadow, we're going to wait till we have Snake Eyes. We're going to do them both together in the same video. So it'll be a long one. I'm trying not to make these too long. You know, keep you interested. Just fun little things to show off some products. I do not have sponsorships, and I'm not paid for promotion on this. This is stuff I like. Let's get her out here. Again, I'm going to have to cut the box. You're going to hear some squealing. You have to admit, though, it's nice to get things that have good, safe packaging. So things don't get broken while shipping. Because, you know, air freight, they'll just toss packages. If you watch them load luggage onto an airplane, they'll just toss it right in there. So unless it's labeled fragile, because then the airline can catch hell. I know, I traveled with something very fragile, did not get broken because they labeled it fragile. There we go though. Destro. Okay, what's this here? Small little, let me just angle this better. Sorry, I'm sorry guys. I'm such a rookie at this. And I do this on my phone. I don't have a webcam. I don't even have a microphone for my gaming. Oh, that's a silica pack. Silica. That's good. I mean, silica is good for keeping your stuff dry. No moisture gets to it. Okay, we're over here now. What we got here? We got, look at that. An MP5 SD. The SD is the silencered version. And it's got a little bit of flame and smoke from the barrel. A little red dot scope, 9mm for his hand. And you got the darts there. Because, I mean, he never carried a dart gun, but you got darts. What do we got here? Another silica packet. Okay. Let's go with it. What's this? Destro's briefcase full of cash, because Destro is the weapons dealer for Cobra, the global terrorist organization. Let's go with the base this time first. See what we're working with. There we go. Look at that. That guy. All right, we got peg hole there. Just, yeah, peg holes right there for his foot, I'm guessing. Look at that, just a box full of guns and ammo with money just strewn all about the place on a segment of wooden floor. And you can see the space, a little 2x4. That's detailed. Oh, I didn't even notice this before. They got the Iron Studios name and everything on the bottom. That's pretty cool. Huh. Designed in Brazil. So, hey, I'm okay with that. We need trade. And it's great that we're getting it, at least from the Americas. Whether that be South America or Central America, North America, Canada. It's all the Americas. Hence why I had no problem changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, because Mexico's not the only country that touches the Gulf. You've got Venezuela, Cuba, Dominican Republic. They're all part of America. So Gulf of America, just, yeah, there's lots. Central America, South America. Everyone's represented in the Gulf now. It's not just ours. It's everyone's. It's our trade, for these countries. Which is good. But here's the man himself. The metal-headed man. The metal-headed weapons dealer. That detail. Got his sidearm. There's the peg for the base. So let's just stick that right on there. Let's put him with his money and guns. There we go. We got him fitted. Alright. Now I can get this stuff out of the way. Again, good box. Good material. Good shipping. There we go. Hope you can still see that pretty good with the other big boys behind him. I mean, he could never compete with either one of these guys. But he's just as bad. I mean, he pretty much arms anybody for money. Speaking of, let's see. That is his left hand. So that's going to go. There's no way that it fits like that. It would have his hand all messed up. You'd have some major carpal tunnel. Oh, let's get it. There we go. And again, magnetic, sticks right in. Yeah, just hold it right over yourself there. Not like it's covering anything of great detail. It doesn't have anything on that thigh. I mean, in this one, obviously, there we go. Right across there, yeah. So we're showcasing the darts, his gun, we got it all visible there. Lots of detail, even around the back. Show his muscles, his shoulder blades, all the structure, his butt, and nice little butt there. Yeah, that briefcase isn't blocking anything of any detail, which is perfectly placed for him. Sorry I'm sniffling. It's a cold, rainy day here, and kind of got me a little sniffly. But yeah, again, great villains make great heroes. And I've been buying these statues for a couple years now and just been building up a collection. And I'm going to angle this camera a little bit and lower it. So beg my pardon here. Just angle it up. Twist the base. There we go. So we can get all three of them in frame here. Oh, sorry for the jolts. There we go, there. Angle it just a little, so we're not cutting off Doom's head. Ooh. Oh, it's always fun on the knees. But yeah. I'll get down here. Right behind all of them. And there's Lincoln. He was on his bed snoring a little. Because he was getting a little bored. But he's over because Daddy's on the floor with him, huh? Yeah. And we got the statues, Lincoln. You like the statues? They're cool, huh? He doesn't care. He really doesn't care. Yeah, he wants the whole paw now. He wants his head scratched. He just loves attention. Because he's a bulldog. We went out this morning to our local pet boutique store that does his photos, called Poochie Chef, and Dog Crazy Pet Photos. Shout out to them for setting up the backdrops and the themes and everything for all his little photos that we post on Instagram. Some on Twitter, or X, as Elon wants to call it. Yes, I know. They do all the photos, and we go to a lot of them. Today was the first pizza party one, and Lincoln put on. I got him to wear a chef's hat. He doesn't normally like things on his head. He's not a big clothing guy. In fact, when I give him a stuffed animal, if it has clothes, I got him 2 baby Yodas. And the first thing he did was rip his sash off. And then he went for his ears, of course, because he has a system of destroying his toys. He's a funny guy. Yes, and he brings you toys. We have like, I think a dozen lambs around the house, a little red dragon, and a unicorn. And he has a 3-toed sloth that we just call Monkey Man. And he has a rabbit, but he has no ears. He still has his first little lamb. It was tiny, because it was when I first got Lincoln at 8 weeks. He was a little pup, and he still has that little one. It just has no head. He decapitated it. He did have, because when I first got him, I knew I'd be dealing with. He did have a big lamb. It was bigger than him, but it was perfect, because when he started humping, now it was weird. You look at him while he's humping, he'd stop instantly. But he would drag that thing just out of eyeshot. When you're sitting watching TV, or I was playing a video game or something, because I'm a big gamer, or I was watching a movie or TV show, he would drag it just so the corner of your eye could see what he was doing. And he would just grip onto the thing's neck. He didn't tear it apart. When he was a puppy, he didn't destroy that big lammy. No. What did he do? He just humped the hell out of it. Humped the hell out of it. But I got him fixed that first winter I had him. And then he destroyed it. Because he was like, well, I got no point. No point in me humping this thing. It's not my lover anymore. I'm fixed. So I just ripped it apart. And of course he started with the head. Got the squeakers out of it, out of the paws, out of the body, and then just started with the head and worked his way down until it was just flesh. Lincoln, look at the camera. Yeah, there you are. You're on the camera. He's very photogenic. I've been doing it. Yeah, sniff at Dr. Doom's butt. He's been doing photos since he was 12 weeks. His very first photo was for Shark Week. And I put him in a rubber raft and he looked terrified. He didn't know what was going on. But he got used to it. Now he expects a photo. We go to Poochie Chef. They take photos of your dog, which I think is great. Because you can use those. If your dog ever goes missing, like runs off because of fireworks or thunder, Lincoln doesn't like any loud noises. So I buy him calming pills, and I have CBD oil for him as well to try and keep him calm. Or else he will literally try to crawl inside you like you're a tauntaun. And he just does. He's not chill during those times. And we have to have a roof put on our house. And I told my father, his pappy, 78-year-old man, who wants to go to the river fishing, and I'm all about it. He's taking the trailer down tomorrow to his river camp. But I told him, I said, you have to be here when they're working on that roof, because this guy is gonna go nuts. It's like, you know what he's like during storms. Not so much fireworks, because my dad's usually down at the river for the 4th of July for a party, a picnic. So he doesn't experience fireworks that often. Sometimes, because we live in a quite rural area, around Memorial Day or Labor Day, if he's still in town, he might experience fireworks periodically over the summer, because no one, people are pretty decent about it around here. They stop around 10 o'clock at night. This one, I'm trying to sleep because I got to be at work during the summer. So I work a seasonal job. Blue collar guy here, which is nice for me. It's very comfortable for me compared to some of the stuff I used to do. To get up early, be out early in the afternoon. I mean, last year, hottest week of the year, I was going in. I was being there by 5 in the morning to be out of there by around lunchtime, so that way I did not have to deal with the hottest part of the day, which everyone knows is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes 4. But it was hot. It was miserable. So we were in and out those days. Like, we go in really early, get moving, and get out before the hottest part of the day if we could. But yeah, so he's really good with photos. He's interested. He like when I'm down here. He's just laying right here, and I'm just scratching his thigh. I know I get sidetracked. I was talking about something else before I started talking about him, but I love him. This dog has changed my life so much and helped my father and I when dealing with the loss of my mother in 2022, which Lincoln, at her funeral, the funeral home let us take him as a pup, and I was still able to lift him up then because he wasn't 75 pounds like he is now, which I know is but he doesn't like being picked up. When as a puppy it was easier because he was light and he didn't fight. Now he does not like being picked up. You try to pick him up and he's like, nope, drop me, put me down, let me go. He's just sitting here staring at me. Why aren't you scratching me? There you go. Yeah, you're fine. But yeah, I've always taken to get photos done because, like I was saying, it's great in case something happens where you need a current photo of your pet to put out on the internet, put out on flyers for people. I'll go places and be like, hey, that's Lincoln from Poochie Chef. And I'm like, well, he's not from Poochie Chef, but they do share his photos quite frequently because we go there. I mean, we just spent $50 on treats today. But the nice thing is about their treats, you pick up a bag, they are not 5-syllable words on the packaging. It's wheat, flour, beef stock, chicken stock, whatever it is. And they have meat, actual meat, which I give him a lot of. He loves duck breast. And on his meal, one of his toppers is pork heart pieces, dehydrated pork heart pieces. Plus, he gets cheese. He loves cheese. My dad spoils him. The treats I give him, the treats I buy him, I give him so few of them because my father, who is starting at Sundowners, he gets memory issues. If he doesn't write stuff down, you have to, if you need to tell him something, you got to tell him before like 4 in the afternoon, or else he's not going to remember unless he writes it down. Which that's what happens when you get old. Gets to be 78 years old. I mean, the man doesn't have to worry about much. I do the cooking, I do the cleaning, and my hobbies are pretty much all at home. One hobby that I have outside of the home is hunting, and we do that together, him and I, because that's when my work season is ending, around Thanksgiving. Somewhere between, depending on the climate and temperature, somewhere between Halloween and Thanksgiving is when my work season ends. So in the winter, like people have spring cleaning, I have winter cleaning where I do deep cleanings of closets. I, make improvements to the house, reorganize things. Like I reorganized my spice cabinet this year. I have all these little Tupperware containers to put McCormick spices and different types of spices in. Spices that I order online, like the Jamaican jerk seasoning. I have a Creole seasoning. I have a Korean barbecue seasoning. I will be doing videos with cooking just in the summer. My diet changes from the winter. In the winter, I'll make soups and stuff, and I'll make some videos. Like I'm with the Creole seasoning, thinking about doing a Creole gumbo. I was looking up how to make a roux. I have so many cookbooks in my kitchen that I need to sit through and take those little colored tabs and mark, recipes that I like and recipes that I make, frequently, or that are some of our favorites, and some that I want to try. Because, some of the cookbooks we have, as you saw, if you didn't see, I posted up a picture both on the Life of Lincoln Instagram and on the post here on YouTube, showing the cookbook that I used for the pork Florentine, which I think that cookbook was from the 70s or 80s. I think it's Better Home and Garden. But we also have a very old Betty Crocker cookbook that was left to me by my mother. Plus, I love doing Asian food, and I didn't even know, but we have this big Asian cookbook. And I was like, I'm just doing stuff like, here's some teriyaki sauce in my electric wok with some meat. Once that's cooked up, then I add the vegetables, and I just toss it all about, get the sauce all over everything, and let it simmer for a little bit till the vegetables just barely lose that crispness. I don't like them like gummy. I like a little crispness in them. I don't want to be, you know, it's just my personal preference. Then I'll make rice, white rice or brown rice, depending. But during the summer, there's not going to be as many cooking videos. I might do some grilling. I might do the Korean dry rub on some pork spare ribs or country ribs. My dad prefers country ribs. I don't mind spare ribs. Not as much meat, but you can just throw a whole rack on the grill with a dry rub or with a barbecue sauce. And everyone uses different stuff, I use Sweet Baby Ray's. I like that. Lowry sauces, their dressings and sauces are good. But yeah, those will be in the summer here. But a lot in the summer is I eat a lot of salads. Try to. They're light. I'll mix in a steak in there, maybe a piece of salmon. I'm not a huge fish guy because fish was kind of ruined for me when I had beer battered bass fillets and that was a sandwich. That was a hamburger, and I used a little bit of cocktail sauce, kind of like your dressing on a sandwich, and just a beer battered bass fillet. And I was like, but that's not healthy for you to deep fry food all the time. But salmon's not bad. I like salmon. My dad's the fish cook. I let him be the fish cook because it's one thing he can make. He can make breakfast too. And I don't eat breakfast. I only eat one meal a day. I am a diabetic, so I do watch what I eat somewhat. Sometimes I'm bad. Like last night I had pizza, but it was the last drive-in night. Not Splatterine. It was the Walpurgisnacht, the Witch's Sabbath special. We only have 3 more specials left for the last drive-in because Shudder canceled it. But the movies last night were great. They were Rawhead Rex by Clive Barker, and which I have the Hellraiser game pre-ordered, the collector's edition. So when that comes, I'm going to do an unboxing. I had plans on doing an unboxing for my Destroy All Humans, but I already did it. When I got my statue case, I was really excited. I was like, oh, I gotta get this box undone and get stuff in there, and I already put the statue together that came with it and put it in I will show it to you. I've got more stuff to put in the cabinets, and I'll do a showcase of, top down of what's in those cabinets. Like I have one really tall one that these figures are going to be going into, these statues. I haven't really figured out which shelf they're going to go on. I'm going to be doing that after this. And the statue cabinets light up, so they will be bright. The one statue cabinet is nearly done. The bottom one is like my favorite liquors and some memorabilia stuff. And then I've got some tchotchkes from when I traveled with my family as a kid. My dad was in the military. Then I got some video game stuff and the old movie stuff, and then I got some Lord of the Rings things, some miniatures. The collector, like when the Lord of the Rings first came out, if you got the collector's edition DVDs, the boxes, and they came with the statues, I got those. They're in the statue cabinet. And then the one shelf is just ships, spaceships, like the Rocinante statues in there. That's Lincoln Storm in the background. He's on the other side of the couch probably. Because he's not a clone. He's a pet. He's a companion even. I don't even consider him a pet. He's a family member. Which has been really good for my dad. It keeps him scheduled for his feedings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When he's home, he handles that because he has to remember that to do that and times to do it. Like if he feeds Lincoln at 7 in the morning, I told my dad, try and space out his meals 6 hours apart. because he gets 1 cup a day of food, and it's 3 meals, so a third of a cup. And of course, he gets toppings on all his meals. But yeah, no. So there'll be some showcases here, because when we start running out of statues, we're gonna start doing some other things. Like, as you can see, kind of see from some of the videos, the background, the walls are bare right now. They're blue, they're painted, but they're bare. But I have stuff for them. I've got some disc plates in a box that I ordered. Never put them on the wall. Never took them out of the box. We'll unbox those together and put them on the wall where I want. I got 4 disc plates, and I like them. I like disc plate. They're nice. I just got to see how they do on my walls, because I used to work in a movie theater. I have tons of poster tubes, and it's just not one movie poster per tube. I had other posters on the walls. Some of them I saved, like the Jason X one, because my name's Jason, and it's got a big X on it, and it's, of course, got his face on it. But I'm just like, that's my name. But I'm going to get cases for them. Now, it's going to be tricky getting them on the walls, because my walls are beveled, meaning they slant. So I have to figure out how to hang a poster case on a beveled wall so it's not going to fall. You can't just put a nail in and hang it. It'll hang like this. I think I figured it out, though. I was at the grocery store the other day, and I found all these little clear plastic hooks, hanger hooks, that are adhesive to the wall. I figure if I get 4 for each poster case, I can put the hooks at the top to hold them up so they don't hang down, and 2 at the bottom, so that way, if I decide to change the posters, which I doubt I will, once I get the posters set, they're going to stay. But I could just slide them into the hooks on the wall, and then move on to the next poster and do the same thing. And that's how I can get them on the wall. This plates will be easy. It'll be pull the adhesive off the magnet, slap it on the wall, slap the disc plate over it. And those should hold. Plus I have art prints from movies, games. Some I went to conventions and picked up some, local artists' drawings. I want to get picture frames for them. My bevel walls only come down so far, so some of those things I can hang just normally. So that way I don't have to, get creative with it. But I want to get the posters done first, because they will take up the most room, because they are movie theater posters. They won't be lit cases, but they will. I've got all kinds of ones. The ones I saved that were already on the walls: Super Troopers, Jason X, Resident Evil. I think I saved my Fellowship of the Ring poster. That one I got from a food court that I worked at over in Pittsburgh, Duquesne University, and there was a Burger King Express and Pizza Hut Express combined in a food court. And I was a student manager there while I was in college. To basically manage the other students, make sure stuff got done at the end of the night. Excuse me. But yeah, so today we did Doom, we did Vecna, and we did Destro. And if you've been noticing my shirts, fright rags. Like half of the shirts that I wear are fright rags. And a lot of them are the last drive-in shirts for their specials. I just ordered yesterday a baseball tee of Dawn of the Drive-In with Joe Bob's head on it, because I love Dawn of the Dead too. Something I was thinking about when I go to Steel City Con, which I did get approval from my boss to take off that weekend. It's our club championship weekend, and I didn't want to buy my 3-day ticket and him be like, no, I need you here. Our big tournament is the Classic, so I'm not anywhere for that. I probably won't even post a video that week, because it's going to be a hectic week. It's like a 4 or 5 day long golf tournament. It's our big one for the year. Big money for the course. But the club championship is the weekend of the Steel City Con out in Pittsburgh, Monroeville area. I should say Monroeville, Pittsburgh area. And I was already looking. Oh, Lincoln Farley. Oh, he is the worst farts. Sorry. Already looking at a hotel, 15-minute walk from the convention. Going to convention. Christopher Lambert and Karen Gilliam are two of the stars that are going to be there. I'm excited to see. The mom from Stranger Things is going to be there. I don't remember her name. Here's another actress that they announced. But yeah, no, Christopher Lambert. So I'm thinking about digging out my Highlander VHS tape. Yes, I still own a lot of VHS tapes. And they're probably going to end up on one of my bookshelves just for display purposes. My DVDs are in my TV stand. They have big drawers in the bottom. Most of my favorite DVDs, which I'll go through some of them sometime. Show you guys what's in there. We'll talk about some stuff that's in there that people will be like, "That's a weird one." I'm a weird guy. I like weird stuff. I like B, sci-fi, B horror, old anime, good anime from the 80s. Like I don't watch anime anymore because it is not geared for me. It is not geared nearly as adults are geared. And I'm not talking like hentai tentacle stuff. I'm talking, Vampire Hunter D. The animation styles are completely different now than they were back then. Now, I'm not saying that they're worse. Like some of the latest ones that I have seen, High School of the Dead. Now that's borderline. That there is no small set of boobs in that show. That's just funny. The smallest set of boobs are C cups, and I'm just like, that's not realistic, especially in Japan. Bleach, that's another one I like. I love Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, all kinds of stuff. Like I have a bunch. I have some old ones on DVDs. We'll pull them out one day and we'll just go through talking about some anime. But hope you guys enjoy the video. Like, share, subscribe. I will post once. There's Storm Shadows. Storm Shadows right here. He's waiting to come out of the box. But I want to have his nemesis with him. I want to have Snake Eyes, which I have something really cool to show in that video when I do bring it out, because when it comes to come out. Pay attention to the posts because that's where I do update. Depending on when those statues come, the Michael Myers and the Snake Eyes, because they're not pre-orders, they're being delivered. They were just ordered yesterday. But once Snake Eyes gets here, we'll do a big video of both of them together because they are rivals. They are, the hero and the antagonist. Which it was, of course, you had to have a ninja on it, on G.I. Joe and on Cobra, because who's going to fight the ninja but another ninja? They have a Flint statue, but again, the villains make the shows. If you don't have a villain, what's the point of the heroes? Back in the 80s, you didn't have Al-Qaeda, you didn't have ISIS, you didn't have the Taliban, really. They were just the Kurds and the Sunnis and the Shiites and, the Russians. That was a good villain in the 80s. I mean, watch a lot of 80s movies. Red Dawn, Red Heat. They always made the Soviet Union the villains. I mean, you kind of wish the Soviet Union was still a thing, because you got some good movies with them as villains. Red Dawn being a classic. The newer one, not so much, because they made it North Korea, and I'm like, why didn't you go with China? Why didn't you do China? Because that would have made more sense than North Korea. You could have done North Korea and China, not just North Korea. It wouldn't have been all over the country if it was just North Korea. It'd be the West Coast, and it wouldn't get past the Rockies. Same reason Japan didn't attack us after Pearl Harbor, because behind every blade of grass is a redneck with a shotgun who goes hunting. And there is no greater game than man when it comes to hunting. That is from the Greatest Game. I forget the book or movie. It's about hunting people, which the movie Surviving the Game is hunting people. And that was Rutger Hauer, Ice-T, Gary Busey. There were a lot of good actors in that movie. And it was just, we're going to get this homeless guy that has nothing to live for, and we're going to hunt him. And it's like, yeah, okay. He's not in the urban element. I get it. You have the upper hand, but what if he really does want to live? Well, watch that movie, because he didn't want to die. He didn't want no white people hunting him. Ice-T, who, just funny, goes from making an album called Cop Killer to being a cop on SVU. And in there, we got New Jack City, another good Ice-T movie. Just a good movie in general. He was in quite a few movies where he was a cop in the 80s and 90s. And the Surviving Game from the 90s. Fun movie, though. It is a fun movie. I like watching every once in a while. I haven't watched it in like half a decade, so it might be due for me to watch again. But anyway, I ramble. I like talking. This is fun for me to do, just to do. And the reason I started doing it is I've wanted to do this for a while. Again, wanted to make improvements in my life, in my space, before doing it. And I've been making those improvements this past winter, and for a few years, actually. I had a lot of shit stacked up. Reorganizing, cleaning, moving furniture, painting walls this year. This winter, painted walls. That snoring beast back there was crying at my door because he wanted to be in here helping, which would have ended up with blue paw prints all over the carpet. And I was like, no, there's enough stains on this carpet because it's smoker, Gonna quit. Have a planned date to stop. I've already gotten nicotine gum, currently chewing some. I chew it while I play video games to try and keep my urges down. Because when it comes to cigarettes, it's not the nicotine that is the most addictive part. It's the shit they put in the cigarettes, pardon my language. But it is the chemicals, the preservatives in tobacco and that. That's the hardest thing to quit. But got myself a bunch of nicotine gum. And also, for when I don't want to chew gum, and I have the urge to I want a cigarette. Sugar-free caramels. Well, caramels. Again, diabetic, so I was like, do they have sugar-free caramels? I went to the grocery store and I was like, yes, they do. 2 bags, please. Got those. They're in my console with my nicotine gum. I pile a bunch of them. The console's got some controllers, remote controls in there, nicotine gum. Right now it's got cigarettes too, but as soon as they're gone, no more. I'd rather spend my money on stuff like this than those. And video games. I have a big collection of games. And it'll be help with encouragement to say, hey, I'm at day 5 and I'm craving a cigarette. If I post it up on here, just to be like, just comment and be like, you don't need it. Stay off them. That will encourage me. Positive reinforcement will encourage me. I quit before, but when my mom died, it was a very stressful time for me, and I went and bought a pack of cigarettes. And then once you do that, you're down that road again. They're so damn expensive in Pennsylvania. There's one thing my uncle posts a lot on social media is just Pennsylvania taxes. They're just ridiculous. Our gas is some of the highest in the country, not because of the price of gas, because of the taxes that our state annually increases the tax on gas. I'm like, I know I told you I wasn't going to discuss politics, but at the same time, I'm not talking politics. I'm just talking reasonable stuff, like why this country is founded, a bunch of crappy taxes. But I love this state. I love it. It's a natural, beautiful state. It's big. There's lots in this state to do. Don't like Philadelphia because you can't make left turns there. A lot of no left turns. I don't understand why they do that, but it's just dumb. So driving around there sucks. So if I go anywhere, I like to go to Pittsburgh. Went to college there, lived there for a few years. Gorgeous city. They just had the NFL draft there. Could care less about the NFL draft. I made the joke to my dad eating dinner the other night that, the draft's not going to be as long this year because half the players fell into the potholes of Pittsburgh. And if you live in Pittsburgh or have been to Pittsburgh, you know what I'm talking about with the potholes. I mean, heck, a construction truck fell into a pothole and they couldn't get it out right away. They had to call a specialized tow truck to pull it out. That was when I lived there in the early 2000s. Now we're a quarter into this century. I don't imagine it getting any better with policies of Pittsburgh and not fixing I mean, they stopped a guy who bought a repair truck, a pothole repair truck. He'd just drive around, find a pothole. He set up a hotline. Call him if you have a really bad pothole. And it was a smartphone era, so you send him a picture of a pothole, where it's at. He would bring his own truck with his own supplies, fill the pothole. The city stopped him. It was basically a charity service. Like, he was doing it for free. And they wouldn't let him know it's got to be a city employee. So dumb. Why? It's a good citizen trying to help out his community, and you stopped him. That's just dumb. I'm sorry. I hope those people got voted out. I don't vote there and live there anymore. So, no, I live in Central PA, where, well, we don't have the best road crews here. We don't have potholes you can fit a Buick into, like Pittsburgh. I don't know how some of those bridges are still standing over there. They don't put money into infrastructure. But anyway, I digress. Hope you enjoyed the videos today. 3 videos, one day. One bulldog who wants more attention than he's getting in him, but he's here. His daddy's on the floor. I'm going to get up here. It's going to be hard because I'm sitting Indian style on the floor, and I don't have the best knees anymore. Oh. Thanks for listening to my little TED Talk about random subjects. Oh. Again, shirts, Fright Rags, statues, Iron Studios. Have a good week, guys, and we'll see you in the future. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. Comment if there's anything that you want to see or I can improve on. Later.